You don't have a motivation problem, you have a clarity problem. And when clarity disappears, everything feels harder than it should. You reread the same sentence 3 times. You walk into a room and forget why. You start a task, then drift, then panic, then scroll. That haze has a name: brain fog. And if you've been living inside it, you've probably started to believe this is just who you are now. It isn't. In 14 days, you can cut through it. Not with one miracle supplement. Not with a dramatic new me speech. With a method. A samurai clarity method. Simple, repetitive, ruthless in the right way. Because a samurai didn't wait for his mind to become calm. He trained his mind to become usable, under stress, under fatigue, under pressure. So if you're ready, these next 2 weeks are going to feel like sharpening a blade. In Japan, there's a concept called Shoshin, beginner's mind. It means you stop assuming you already know what works, and you return to the basics with seriousness. No ego, no complicated hacks, just fundamentals executed cleanly. That's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to give you one shocking truth right now. Just 2 hours of evening screen time on a light-emitting tablet has been reported to suppress melatonin by about 55% in students in one report. Think about that for a moment. More than half of the signal that tells your body night has begun, muted because you wanted a little entertainment. So yes, your fog might be lifestyle, not fate. Here's the promise. In 14 days, you will feel a clearer morning, a steadier afternoon, and a quieter mind at night. You'll still have problems. Everyone does. But you'll have the cognitive strength to meet them without drowning in haze. Now, the system. The Samurai Clarity Method has 4 blades: nutrition, meditation, cognitive training, sleep optimization. You will use all 4 because brain fog rarely comes from one weakness. It's usually death by 1,000 cuts. And you are going to stop bleeding. Day 1 starts with a rule that will feel almost insultingly simple: movement and light before information. When you wake up, you don't check anything. Not messages, not news, not the world. You go to a window or outside and get bright light into your eyes for a few minutes. This is how you anchor your circadian rhythm, which is the master clock of focus, energy, and sleep. If your clock is chaotic, your mind will be chaotic too. If you want a deeper explanation of why morning light matters, this short Huberman clip is a useful reference. Then you drink water. Then you move your body for 10 minutes. Walk, stretch, push-ups, anything. You're not chasing fitness yet. You're telling your nervous system, we are awake and we are in control. Now, nutrition. For 14 days, your goal is not a perfect diet. Your goal is stable blood sugar and stable energy because the brain hates spikes and crashes. If you start your day with a sweet, empty breakfast, you're basically signing a contract with the afternoon slump. So here are your nutrition rules for the 2 weeks. Rule 1. Protein early. Within your first meal, prioritize protein and fiber. Eggs, yogurt, fish, tofu, beans, whatever fits your life. You're creating a slow burn instead of a sugar fire. Rule 2. Cut the fog foods. For 14 days, remove or strongly reduce ultra-processed snacks, sugary drinks, and the random grazing that turns your day into a roller coaster. This isn't moral. It's mechanical. Rule 3. Omega-3s and real fats. There's ongoing research on omega-3 intake and cognition. A review summary notes associations between omega-3 intake and reduced risk of cognitive decline. You're not chasing a magic pill, you're building a brain. Supporting baseline with food. Source Rule 4, caffeine with honor. If you drink caffeine, keep it earlier in the day, not as a constant drip of stimulation, not as a replacement for sleep. You want your brain to create its own energy again. Now, meditation. Most people misunderstand meditation. They think it's about emptying the mind. It's not. It's about training attention. Like a sword grip, firm, calm, repeatable. Research has shown that even brief meditation training can enhance aspects of sustained attention. Your practice for 14 days is simple: 10 minutes every day. Same place if possible. You sit, you breathe through the nose. You pick one anchor. Your breath, the feeling at the nostrils or the rise and fall of the chest. When your mind drifts, you don't punish it. You return. That return is the repetition. That repetition is the muscle. And here's what will happen by day 4 or 5. You'll start noticing the moment your attention slips in normal life, mid-email, mid-conversation, mid-task. That's the first victory. Awareness returns before performance does. Now, cognitive exercises. This is where we sharpen the blade. Brain fog often feels like, I can't think. But more often, it's, I can't hold attention long enough to think. So we train 2 capacities, working focus and mental switching control. Every day, you do 2 short exercises. Exercise 1, Single Task Sprint. Set a timer for 12 minutes. Choose one task that matters. 1. No multitasking, no music, phone out of reach. You work until the timer ends, then stop. The point is not output. The point is teaching your mind that it can stay in one lane without wandering. Exercise 2, Recall and Reconstruct. At the end of the day, take a sheet of paper and write down, from memory, 3 things you learned or noticed today. A concept, a mistake, an insight. Then, write 1 action you'll take tomorrow because of it. This rebuilds memory pathways. It forces your brain to encode the day instead of letting it blur into one long scroll. Now, sleep optimization, the deepest blade. If your sleep is broken, your mind will always be foggy. You can meditate and eat perfectly and still feel dull if your brain never enters deep recovery. So for 14 days, you adopt the Nightfall Protocol. First, light discipline. 2 to 3 hours before bed, dim your environment. Reduce overhead brightness. Stop blasting your eyes with white-blue light. Evening light suppresses melatonin and shifts your internal night. This isn't theory. Research has shown room light before bedtime can suppress melatonin. Second, a fixed sleep window. Pick a realistic bedtime and wake time. Then keep it consistent. Your brain fog loves inconsistent sleep because it keeps your biology confused. Third, the cool, dark cave. Make your sleeping environment darker and cooler if you can. Your body sleeps best when it feels safe and night feels real. Fourth, no late war. Stop intense mental battles right before bed, heated arguments, frantic emails, doom scrolling. If your mind goes to war at 11 p.m., it will bring the battlefield into your dreams. Now, that's the method. But you need it as a 14-day path, not just a list. So here's your exact schedule. Days 1 to 3, detox the inputs. These first days are about stopping the obvious leaks. Morning light, protein early. 10 minutes meditation, Nightfall Protocol. Your brain will still feel foggy, but you'll begin to feel something else. Less agitation, fewer spikes, a little more steadiness. Days 4 to 7, rebuild attention. Now you add the 12-minute single-task sprint every day. The sprint is short enough to be non-threatening, but long enough to challenge your attention. By day 7, you'll notice your mind drifting less often, or at least you'll catch it sooner. Days 8 to 11, strengthen the engine. Now you tighten sleep consistency even more. You protect the bedtime like a sacred appointment. You stabilize meals. You keep caffeine earlier. You continue meditation. The point here is to create a baseline where your brain stops begging for stimulation to feel alive. Days 12 to 14, test clarity under pressure. In the final 3 days, you pick one meaningful project and do a longer focus block. 25 minutes a day, phone away, single task. You prove to yourself that the fog is not your identity, it's a condition. And conditions can change. Now, I need to warn you about the mistakes that will break this method. Mistake 1. You chase supplements but ignore sleep. You can buy every pill on earth, and if you keep destroying melatonin with bright screens at night, you're building a temple on a swamp. Remember that 55% melatonin suppression figure after 2 hours on a tablet. This is exactly why the Nightfall Protocol comes first. Mistake 2. You meditate while still consuming. If you sit for 10 minutes, then immediately flood your mind with noise, you're doing the equivalent of taking one clean breath in a smoke-filled room. Meditation works when the rest of your day supports it. Mistake 3. You multitask as a lifestyle. Brain fog thrives on constant switching. If your day is 30 seconds of this, 45 seconds of that, your brain becomes shallow by training. The sprint is how you reverse it. Mistake 4. You punish yourself for bad days. If you miss one day, you don't spiral, you resume. The samurai doesn't throw away his sword because of one scratch. He sharpens it again. Mistake 5. You expect day 2 to feel magical. This is a 2-week method. Your brain needs repeated clean signals before it trusts the new pattern. Give it time. Give it consistency. Now, let's make it visceral. Imagine your mind as a dojo floor. For months, maybe years, people have walked in with muddy shoes, notifications, sugar crashes, late night light, poor sleep, stress with no recovery. The floor got dirty slowly, so you forgot what clean looked like. These 14 days are you scrubbing the floor. Every morning, a little. Every night, a little. Until one day you look down and realize the wood is visible again. And that's when your life starts to feel possible again. So here's your challenge. It starts tonight. Write down 4 non-negotiables for the next 14 days. 1. Morning light before phone. 2. Protein. First meal. 3. 10 minutes meditation. 4. Dim light. 2 hours before bed. Then add 1 optional blade if you're ready, the 12-minute sprint. That's it. Keep it small. Keep it sharp. And if you want an extra recovery tool on the hardest days, a guided non-sleep deep rest protocol can be helpful for restoring mental and physical energy. This is a reference example. Now, your specific action step is simple and it's immediate. As soon as this ends, set a recurring daily alarm labeled 12-minute sprint. Set another alarm 2 hours before bedtime labeled Nightfall Protocol. Then prepare tomorrow's breakfast choice tonight, even if it's just deciding what it will be. Because clarity isn't found in wishing, it's forged in preparation. You're not trying to become perfect in 14 days. You're trying to become clear enough to lead your own life again. What's your biggest source of brain fog right now? Sleep, food, stress, or constant screens? Write it in the comments and tell me which one blade you're committing to first.